be a list by Johnny Garcia, and this is going to be the top 10 best commander precons. And out of this list, and then Zach has switched one out. I'm gonna actually purchase one of these, and then when we come back for our next episode, like I said, we'll go from there and start teaching me to not only not say your dragon, start saying dragon, so I don't get killed. I'm learning. We figured like this is going to be helpful for people, not just me, but also people that are starting out that might be watching, and for you experts like Zach, I know that things that I know a lot about. I always like listening to other experts because I like to agree or disagree. So I think that this is a relevant topic to go to, even though it might be very noob centric. So let's put it on here. Share screen. Thank you all for sticking with me. We are going to go to not premium. Okay, here we go. Bam. Okay. So let me pull this out. So number 10 right away, we are actually going to switch number 10. So I'm going to show what number 10 is first. But Zach's pulled an audible here. In tricky terrain, everything on anything. He's saying nothing on nothing. Do you want to touch on this before we go over to it at all, or we can just go over to it?
So this card withholds a lot of utility in it, but as a precon, the cards that came in it aren't as viable in other types of decks like this than other decks that have been released in the year. So I've replaced this specific commander with another commander.
Yeah, pull over to it.
Yeah, the commander I replaced this with is Olivia, Opulent Outlaw.
Yep.
She utilizes outlaws to create treasures and uses the treasures to create value among creatures you control. And the reason I replaced the two different commanders is this card has so much utility in it. Attacks fairly well into pretty much anything in the format other than like dragons and angels, maybe. And the fact that it has the life gain as a part of its just dealing combat is fairly good. I would say this card moves from 10 to probably 5 if its 3 mana ability on the bottom of the card was not activate only as a sorcery. If you could activate that as at instant speed, this card would probably be the number 5, number 4, number 3 commander this year.
Awesome. So what do you think about this EDHE rec site for me to utilize?
Yeah, EDH rec is like the stuff they post is really good.
I like how I can go through this interface. This interface is like really like user friendly here. I don't have any money in this site or anything again. I just found it. So yeah. It seems like it's good to use, right? Is there any other options, or is this?
Yeah, there are definitely other options, but EDH rec is where everybody posts their deck lists and all that kind of stuff. So like you can pretty much follow along with what the most competitive cards are being played in the certain deck that you're playing. And like for example, one of my more favorite players of all time, Paulo Vitor Dama de Rosa. He is a 4-time world champion for Magic, specifically for Standard, but he too posts his decks on EDH rec. So like I could go on here at any time and see what he's changed with a certain deck that I've been playing.
Gotcha. Okay. So we are going to now move to another one that you picked out here, and I'm going to pick from one of these 4, and I've not picked yet. Let's see. We actually had, hold on. What's going on, Mark? Finally caught one live. Oh, see, we got our first live viewer here, so we're starting up. But what's going on, Mark? It's a pleasure to see
What's
you.
going on, Mark?
Thanks for the support, man. I think I seen you. I seen you posting for the algorithm gods, and as an editor, I appreciate that. Keep that up, my friend, and let us know. Yeah, let us know. Hey, let me know which one. Let me know Zach's. Taking me up the wrong tree here. Let me know if he's not advising me well on these precons. You know what I mean? It's my boss, but I don't know. Maybe he doesn't care how I spend my money. Maybe he's not.
Maybe I'm just talking on my ass.
Maybe he's fucking with me here. So I believe that this is the next one that you wanted to be highlighted. Endless. Oh wow, there we go. Speaking of, endless punishment is the next one, right?
Yeah, endless punishment is the number 1 deck on this list. It's also the most expensive commander throughout this whole year. I don't necessarily see it as number 1, but it is number 1 on this list. This is practically the same as Olivia, where you're getting the value out of a 4/4 flying attacker. You're also growing it and drawing cards at the same time, so that your commander kind of withholds value in itself. It also is very hard to interact with, as somebody has to pay 2 life to target it. So this card is good, but I don't see it as number 1. It's also in very, very bad colors. So
what do you mean by that?
Well, the red and black are not very notorious colors in the top several hundred lists for Magic.
Mm-hmm.
So going into the Rakdos colors is more like I would say it's not a crime, but it's not good though.
Okay.
Like usually in the black and red colors, you don't see commanders that draw cards, which makes this commander in specific very good. But for commanders this year, I think there's better stuff that came out.
Speaking of better stuff, and I gotta say that this is for reasons that probably aren't the best reasons to base how I buy this upon. But I talked to you before, and I was so excited. A little side story here. Because I love the Roman Empire, because I'm just your basic douche, evidently. And I'm like that meme. How long do you think about the Roman Empire every single day? And so I was like, is there any because if like the religion within the Roman Empire and all that seems to fit with the pantheon of gods and all that completely with Magic, and I was surprised there wasn't more of a Roman themed decks and stuff. But this one right here, Zach, number 2, Hail Caesar. I gotta say, this might be my pick right here. So talk me into it or talk me out of it.
Yeah. So his name in Magic is Caesar, but the actual name in Fallout is Kaisar for some reason. But with this specific commander, I like this guy a lot. There's so much utility in this Marduk commander that it's nuts. Its ability triggers off of any attack. So you don't even have to attack with Kaisar himself, but you still get his ability. So let's say you attack with just any creature, like a token, and then you could trigger his ability to sack the token to make 2 more tokens. So it's nuts in the form of that.
Is this from Fallout though? Because Caesar's Legion is obviously Caesar did have legions, but that's also in Fallout New Vegas. There's Caesar.
Yeah, so this is Kaisar from Fallout series.
Okay, gotcha. So
yeah,
I like that too. That fits too, though.
Yeah, it's not necessarily Caesar from the history, the history days.
Yeah, no, I got you. But yeah, the character is based off. It's a guy that's inspired from Caesar. You know what I mean? In New Vegas. So I'm a big Fallout fan, and I'm a big history fan. So I think that this is gonna be. We have another one to go to before we end this. But is you gonna have a problem if I get this one?
No, this is totally a precon that I would recommend.
Okay.
It's one of the easier commanders in the format. Just off of just like keywords and all that kind of stuff that come in the precon and stuff that you need to remember and recognize out of the deck. Like for a new player, I'd totally recommend this card. Probably the card that we just talked about at number 1, and probably some of the other
Gotcha.
ones on this list.
Yep, number 6 is going to be the last one we're going to focus on here, which is Peace Offering. Group Hug with the bonnet, which doesn't. Didn't we have this? Did this come up in another? Didn't we just have this commander? Or no, we had a rabbit style commander. We had the art looks similar. Sorry.
Yeah, we talked about this card specifically for Bloomborough when the video came out. Bumbleflower's nuts, honestly. Every spell you cast, target opponent draws a card. The only downside to this card, when you have somebody draw a card, you also put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, and they gain flying. So, out of every card in your deck, if you play like a big green creature and you put a +1/+1 counter on it, you now have that thing gain flying, and now it's just a menace to society while you're attacking during this game. And then when this ability triggers the second time, you draw 2 cards. So not only is it utility in attacking, it's also utility as a draw effect. Now, the only thing that makes this commander seem a little bit bad is that you're giving your opponents cards and you're already in the colors that you draw a lot of cards in. But as your commander, it gives you so much value for each spell that you're casting.
Sorry to interrupt. So this reminds me of when I'm reading it, like with the player profiles, the politician. This seems like a politician deck, right? Like, because this is
100% the politician deck.
Look at me learning stuff. Yeah, right. Like, so because it's saying that it makes them want to stay in the game with you while you work towards your win. I like that. I like that play style. I might try it. So I think I am going to go with the Caesar though. Okay, let's just really quick. Let's look at what's number 1 on this. We did. I'm sorry. Let's look at what's number. Number 9, Quick Draw. Sorry, that was one I wanted to look at really quick. So is this a Fallout 1 too or no?
No. So this is from Outlaws of Thunder Junction.
Okay. Yeah, we talked about
that. So it's like the cowboy set. But this card is decent. It also goes infinite with a ham sandwich. But I've seen this deck played a bunch, and I don't recommend this as a precon. I would probably recommend this more to like a 1 or 2 year player with with some experience and I would recommend. I wouldn't recommend this to a new person. So I don't see it as a good precon.
Yeah, but in precons they are, they make those specifically. I mean, I know anybody can buy them, but like, do you buy precons anymore?
Yeah, so I buy a bunch of precons depending on what cards that come in them. Mm-hmm. I don't keep them like together for too long.
Yeah,
because I usually buy them for like certain cards that I want out of them or that kind of stuff.
You get more bang for your buck, like buying a precon maybe sometimes just to get stuff out of it.
Yes.
Okay.
But I do have precons that I currently still have together that I do play with too. So
awesome. All right. So as we close it out, I want to thank you again for your time, Zach. And we'll be trying to do. We're going to be at least doing 2 of these a month. We'll strive for more. We're promising 2 a month, and I'll be cutting these up into segments and posting them. Hopefully, this one has a lot better audio than last week. I went from using 2 different interfaces here to just one and streamlining it. So we should be a lot better off here. On the tech side, at least, and as we get more comfortable, Zach, you're great at this, just off the cuff. You obviously know your stuff because, like, literally, I sent you 3 articles before I got in the shower, 15 minutes before here. I'm like, this is what we're going to talk about, and you're just a wealth of knowledge. So, but I did want to close it out just with a little bit of a casual conversation here, and I thought of a question for you that I didn't run by you. I thought, what's one thing that you're doing maybe this year or recently that you made a change in your gameplay? Like, what's one thing that you are either looking to stop doing or something that maybe you needed correction? It doesn't need to be something that was bad, but like, because with anything, like with playing piano, I change up certain ways I do things. I try to like focus on different things. What's a recent change up you've made that maybe viewers can learn a little bit from or take some insight from?
Yeah, so I've learned that people don't like to play with the best person at the store.
Mm-hmm.
So to make people better, I've trained myself to play less competitive decks. Decks that probably shouldn't be played in most games. Like I recently built Fildegriff, which is on our top 5 group hug decks to build.
Yeah.
And my whole thing is just giving people things. So like every card in the deck just says, hey, I'm doing this, but you also get a card, or I'm doing this and you gain some life, or I'm doing this and I'm going to give you a 1/1 hippo, or it's just, I've taught myself to limit myself to what I could do so that I could train new players how to play the game.
So yeah, you're playing a little bit as a politician, but you're just more challenging. It comes down like what I asked about last week. How I always hear Commander explained in a sense when people are pitching it to me as something like I said that is like always like, well, it's the best format to play like if you're new, because like it's competitive, but it's not crazy competitive, and people are looking just to play. They're looking to have fun. Like they're not looking. The game isn't going to end right away. Everybody kind of gets to do a little something. So you're kind of like stretching that out. You're not just cutting throats. Is kind of what you're saying.
Yes. So
which is a little bit cocky as well as nice. It's cocky as well as nice.
Yeah. So I'm not just going into LGSs trying to cut people's heads off anymore.
Gotcha. No, nobody likes that. Well, that makes sense. You know, they'd be like, oh man, yeah, I don't like that. So yeah, that's your not your New Year's resolution, but we'll call it that. Less head chopping right there. But that, yeah, especially when you're going to be playing with me, because I don't need Cedh to get stabbed in the Senate on the first day. So yeah, I want to thank you again. I want to thank our viewers for stopping by. Hopefully the viewers that are going to be watching as we do this in segments. We're rebuilding the channel. Zach is amazing as always. Like I said, a wealth of knowledge. I'm a noob that'll get better with the terminology and the phrasing as time goes on. And I want to thank you guys. Zach, anything you want to say to the viewers before we go?
Yeah, thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for your support. And specifically, thank you for lending us a hand at the beginning of the stream as we again gave a moment of silence to those people in LA that have their lives affected by wildfires. So for that, I thank y'all.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll put that Red Cross link below, and I'm going to find one for the animals as well. So as well as these articles that we were sourcing here. So we will see you guys soon. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and we will be back in a few weeks. Talk to you then.